Kyle MacLean contract. Okay, this is good. I'm happy about this.
Yeah, he's got a tracker on your car. Clearly, he
100%.
put it underneath somewhere. It's there. Don't worry about it. Yeah, what a signing. Like, I don't think any of us were surprised that he got signed, right? It would have been surprising had he not been. I think where all of this comes from, or all of the praise, because something that is something rare that happens within the New York Islanders fan base is everyone agrees that something good happened, and this being one of them. And I think all of that positivity comes from the actual contract itself in terms of the meats and potatoes, the amount of money and for how long. It is absolute perfection.
Yeah, I was really, really, really pleasantly surprised. In every single cap-friendly armchair GM, RIP in peace, I have given Kyle MacLean a 2-year deal at the vet minimum. And I thought they would get the typical standard 2-year bridge deal that, Devontae's got and, all these other guys. But adding in that extra year, when we saw earlier today that it was going to be a 3-year deal, I thought, okay, this is probably going to be a little bit more than I was expecting. And I'm not talking much. I think Stefan had a tweet where he thought it was going to be around $950,000, which if it's $1 million or less, okay. I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah. But a vet minimum for 3 years, that's for his age 25, 26, 27 season at vet minimum. Hell yeah, man. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, it's absolute perfection. I understand his base salary was $800,000, which is what I was looking at before. But when I pitched it on the Discord saying like, oh, he took a $50K discount or $25K discount, Ryan aptly pointed out that, well, that was a 2-way deal that he was on before. So his minor salary, which I didn't clue in on, I don't know why, it was right there in front of me, which was $82.5K. He just got a near 10 times raise. He's making hundreds of thousands of dollars to play NHL hockey, which is what he's going to do. Why would you not say yes? Because this guy had no prospects of playing NHL hockey, was not drafted, right?
No.
Was pulled by the Islanders straight from the OHL, from the Oshawa Generals, plugged in, played at the Bridgeport level, didn't really play up top of the lineup, didn't put up like crazy numbers either, just plugged away and played his game. And then when the chance came, he showed what he could do at the NHL level, which again isn't blowing you out of the water in terms of top end talent, but in terms of the role he is to fill on this team, he plays that game seemingly as it stands now to perfection. So you pay him 10 or 100 times that, 10 times that amount of money. Yeah, you sign that every day. He's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's insane. He was making $82.5 just a year ago. This is a ridiculous upgrade for him.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, we only saw 32 games of him, but then in the playoffs, we saw much more. And I think that's really what blew me away was his playoff performance. He scored a goal, 1 point in 5 games. And I know that's not going to jump off. But to me, Kyle MacLean is the biggest eye test player on the Islanders. If you just, you watch him, you kind of see him doing the little things right. And we've all said for a very, very, very long time now that the Islanders' bottom 6 needs an infusion of youth and speed, and Kyle MacLean could give you those two things. I'm not saying he's going to win any fastest skater here, but he plays hard. He's cheap, extremely cheap, but effective in that role nonetheless.
The cheap part is the key part for a variety of reasons, obviously. But the main one is, as you said, we need a rejuvenation in the bottom 6. And for the longest time, the biggest, punchline when it came to the Islanders was how much they were spending on their bottom 6. You had Casey Zizekas making over $3 million, rightfully so. You had Kyle Clutterbuck making over $3 million. And then Matt Martin making over $2 million on the bottom line. For a certain point, we were playing Andrew Ladd on the bottom line at $5.5 million. Our payroll for the bottom, I keep saying bottom 5, for the bottom 6 was bloated. And now we are aptly paying very little for guys in the bottom 6 and for guys who play that role well. This is an excellent move in more ways than one. To me, the cap hit at 7.75 is delicious, is so good, and for so many reasons.
Yeah, and like I know 9 points in 32 games. I did see some negative Nancy's out there being like, "How can everyone be talking about how great this deal is?" The guy had 9 points in 32 games. If he turns into a 25-point player, like and a penalty killer, and a regular playing 11 minutes a night, we'll say, that is a major, 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 major win for the Islanders. Even if he's just, and this is going to lean on the negative side, I don't think this is going to be his role, but even if he's the 13th forward at the vet minimum, that's a win. I don't think he is. I think he's either going to be the fourth line center or fourth line left wing, depending on what happens with JG Pajot here. And I am more than confident that he can play as a regular in the bottom six and be an asset for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's only playing like 10 minutes a night. This isn't a guy that you're throwing out there to play 15, 16 to nearly 20 minutes a night. You're paying him to go out there, do a good defensive shift, keep the puck on the other end of the zone. That's all he's out there to do. And if he's giving you production, which he is doing, that's a win. Those 9 points in 32 games, I believe, paces out to 24 points, 23.06 over a full NHL season. And that's fine. You'll take 23 points from your bottom, your fourth line players. This is a fourth line talent playing on the fourth line. Don't expect 30, 40, 50 points from him.
No.
That's why he's getting paid vet minimum. Whatever you can get above replacement level is found value because he's being paid replacement level wages. Found value, man, is what it is.
Exactly. And that's another thing, too. We talked about the Islanders needing to get younger. They also needed to find some found value contracts.
Yes.
Because a lot of their guys are on long-term deals, which they're either making appropriate money or for some at this point in their careers are overpaid. Looking at, Anders Lee, JG Pajot, Adam Pelech, to name a few. Like getting found value would be a major, major win for this team.
Major win. And like the guy hits, I know a lot of people out there complain about some of our bigger players not hitting, Pierre Engvall being one of them, quite literally bigger.
Yep.
But he's got 60 hits over 32 games. It's more than 2 per game that he's getting in his short stint in the NHL. He's a tenacious, ferocious puck hound, just chasing guys around the ice. Great on the forecheck. And I know it sounds like we're waxing poetic about what is a fourth line player, which is what he is. But you need fourth line players, man. And if you can account or have your fourth line players be accountable and dependable, it makes a lot of your life easier, your life a lot easier when it comes to putting out guys like Matthew Barzal, where you don't have to double, shift him because oh God, when he's not on the ice, we completely get caved in because Kyle MacLean. That's not the case with MacLean. If you like that, make sure to subscribe to Up the Turnpike on Patreon for more exclusive New York Islanders content.